morning, students. This is Srikan, Assistant Professor, signing in for Contracts 1. Till now, we have seen the meaning and definition of the contract, essential elements of the contract, then offer. You know that offer is the first step in the formation of the contract. Then when an offer is there, it should be accepted. That means acceptance should be there. You cannot make an offer to yourself. So there should be some person who is going to accept your offer. Let us see what the acceptance means. Right? Again, both offer and acceptance both are essential for a contract. Let us see the definition of the acceptance, meaning as well as definition. Yes. So acceptance of an offer or proposal, it is very essential for the formation or conclusion of a contract. For example, A is there, B is there. A offers to sell his house to B. That means A is giving an offer. Subsequently, B has to accept that offer. Unless and until B accepts A's offer, a contract cannot be concluded. It cannot be called as a concluded contract. That means acceptance of an offer or proposal, it is very essential for the formation or conclusion of a contract. Offer is the first stage, acceptance is the second stage in the formation of a contract. So a contract is created only after an offer is accepted. A gave a offer to B. Unless and until B accepts that offer, contract cannot be created. That means before the acceptance is made by B, neither A or B is bound by their respective mutual obligations. You know, contract means submitting their respective mutual legal obligations to the court. Again, offeror is free to revoke or withdraw his offer before acceptance of the acceptance. Once the offer has been accepted, what happens? It becomes a promise, and if other conditions of the contract are also satisfied, then both the parties are bound by their promise. So once the offer has been accepted, it becomes a promise, and subsequently it will bind both the parties to the promise. After acceptance, what happens? Both the offerer as well as the acceptor becomes legally bound by the promise made to each other. So acceptance of an offer or proposal is very essential for formation or conclusion of the contract. You know, in a contract, one party makes proposal or offer and other party has to accept. Then only the contract is valid and enforceable. In other words, acceptance of an offer is very essential for the validity of a contract. The person who accepts the offer or proposal is called acceptor. So in a contract, two parties will be there, namely offerer and the acceptor. In fact, this acceptance means it is the promise of the offeree. You see, offerer is giving the promise, acceptor is offering that promise, he is telling that yes, I am going to purchase your house. That means Offeree is promising to offerer. So it is the promise of the offeree reciprocating the promise of the offer, which is known as acceptance of the offer. If you analyze section 2 class B of the Indian Contract Act 1872, what it says, a proposal when accepted becomes a promise. A proposal when accepted becomes a promise. So the creation of a contract, an agreement must be entered into between the parties, and an agreement comes into existence when a proposal or offer is accepted by the party to whom it is made. So acceptance of offer means communication of the offeree his assent to the proposal made to him by the offerer. So, A is there, B is there. A is giving an offer, that offer has to be accepted by whom? B. That means B is accepting to that offer. Yes, I am going to accept your offer. That means it is the promise of the B to A that I am going to accept your offer. It is willingness of the offeree or promisee that I am going to accept your offer. He is reciprocating to the promise made by the A. It is known as acceptance of the offer. Again, for a contract, there are certain conditions to be satisfied. For an offer, there are certain conditions to be satisfied. Even for acceptance also, there are certain conditions to be satisfied. Unless and until these conditions are satisfied, you cannot call it as an acceptance. Let us see what those conditions which constitutes a valid acceptance, right? Yeah, let us analyze the definition of the acceptance. Section 2 class B of the Indian Contract Act 1872 defines acceptance as when the person to whom the proposal is made signifies his assent thereto, comma, the proposal is said to be accepted. It is, let us analyze the definition in 3 points. First is when the person to whom the proposal is made. A is giving a proposal to B. That means the person to whom the proposal is made, B, signifies his assent to thereto. Assent means acceptance. So, who is accepting? B is accepting. Then the proposal given by the A is said to be accepted. Right? When the person to whom the proposal is made signifies his assent thereto. Assent means acceptance. The proposal is said to be accepted. Then likewise there are certain essential elements and acceptance to be valid, certain conditions ought to be satisfied. Remember in Contract Act the, under section 10 there are certain essential conditions. For everything there must be certain conditions to be satisfied for a valid offer, contract, acceptance, everything. Let us see the condition. Unless and until these conditions are satisfied, you cannot call it as a valid acceptance. Number 1, an acceptance must be absolute and unqualified. We will see what it is. Number 2, acceptance should be expressed in usual or as per the prescribed mode or manner. Number 3, reasonable time. 4, before revocation of offer. Number 5, must be communicated. So first one is an acceptance must be absolute and unqualified, absolute and unqualified. That means we will see what it is. So, first essential condition is an acceptance must be absolute and unqualified. Unqualified means without any condition. The acceptance must be absolute and unqualified without any condition. The terms of the acceptance must be consistent with the terms of the offer. Remember, A is giving the offer, B is giving his acceptance. Both the offer and acceptance should coincide with each other. Remember, let us take one example. A is there. A offers his house to Y for lease from 1st April 1994. A is telling to Y that I am going to give my house for lease from 1st April 1994. What Y has to do? Y has to accept that lease from 1st April 1994. That means without any condition. But Y is telling to A that I am going to accept your house for lease provided you give it from 1st March 1994. That means it is with some condition. So acceptance must be absolutely according to the terms of the offer. It should not contain any condition. Here it is no acceptance. Why? Section 7 of the Indian Contract Act says an acceptance gives rise to a binding contract only when it is unqualified and coincide in terms with those of the offer. So, in fact, the offer must be consistent with the terms of the acceptance. Acceptance must be consistent with the terms of the offer. So acceptance must be absolute and unqualified. Then only a binding contract between the offerer and the acceptor will emerge. If there is inconsistency or if it is qualified, then it cannot give rise to a binding contract. So no binding contract, no contract, no contract means unenforceable in the courts of law. So the first condition is an acceptance must be absolute and unqualified. It must be consistent with the terms of the offer. So acceptance should be unqualified without any condition and it should coincide with the terms of the offer. Then only a binding contract will emerge. This is the first condition. Now, going to second, acceptance should be expressed in usual or as per the prescribed mode or manner. So, acceptance should be expressed in usual or prescribed manner. So, prescribed manner means the mode or manner prescribed by the offerer. You understand? So acceptance must be expressed in usual manner. That means A is telling to B, I am going to sell my house. If you are willing to purchase my house, please give me a phone call. Give me a phone call and tell your acceptance. That means what B has to do? B has to call A over phone only. That means in the prescribed mode prescribed by A. For example, B post a letter signifying his assent. Then the acceptance need not be accepted by A. Why? It is not as per the mode prescribed. So whatever A is telling, please give me in that way. the B has to do in the same manner. Remember, if A asks B post a letter, what B has to do? B has to post a letter. If A says to B, please give me a phone call, what B has to do? B has to give A a phone call. Whatever be the manner prescribed by the offerer, the acceptor should follow the same. In order to convert a proposal into a promise, proposal, who is making the proposal? A. If you want to convert a proposal into a promise, then acceptance must be expressed in some usual and reasonable manner, unless the proposal prescribes the manner in which it is to be accepted, right? So whatever be the mode prescribed by A, the acceptor, that is B, has to follow. Then take on one example. No mode or no manner is prescribed by A. Simply A tells, I am going to sell my house. If you are going to purchase my house, please tell me. That's what A said. That means A is not telling the mode by which B has to give his acceptance. No manner is prescribed. Then what to do? Acceptance may be expressed in some usual and reasonable manner. Offer is made by post and no mode is prescribed, then what happens? Acceptance may also be given by post. That means there is no manner prescribed by the offerer, then you have acceptance has to be given in some usual or reasonable manner. Mode is prescribed where the offerer prescribes the mode or manner in which the offer is to be accepted. Then remember, acceptance must be made in the manner prescribed by the offerer only. If you give your acceptance in some other mode, then offerer has every right to repudiate the contract. The acceptance will not be valid if there is any departure or variance from the mode prescribed, unless and until the acceptance should be expressed in the manner prescribed by the offerer, it cannot be a valid acceptance. An offerer has every right to repudiate the contract, right? So offer should be, acceptance should be expressed in usual manner or as per the mode prescribed. If mode is prescribed, you have to follow that mode. If no mode of acceptance is prescribed, then it has to be expressed in some usual and reasonable manner. Next, third condition is reasonable time. So offerer would normally tells a particular period. A is selling the house to B. A is telling to B that I am going to sell my house. If you are going to purchase my house, please give your acceptance within 3 months. What B has to do? B has to give his acceptance within 3 months. For example, A does not give any time, then what happens? Within a reasonable time, B has to give his acceptance. After 2-3 years, B will come to A that I am going to purchase your house, please sell your house. Then it is not a reasonable time. So offerer would normally keep his offer for a particular period. In the absence of a specific period, the offer remains open for a reasonable period. That means acceptance must be made within such a specific or reasonable period. So acceptance has to be given within a reasonable period. What is reasonable is depends upon the facts and circumstances of the case. So acceptance should be given within a reasonable or specific period. Next ingredient of acceptance is before revocation of the offer. That means offerer can revoke his offer before the acceptance. So acceptance must be made before such revocation. So when an offer can be revoked by the offerer, an offer can be revoked at any time before the communication of acceptance is posted, but not afterwards. That means if the offer revokes his offer, subsequently if you give the acceptance, it is not a binding contract. Why? Acceptance must be made before such revocation. Revocation means withdrawn. That means before the offerer withdraws his offer, then you have to give the acceptance. Again, acceptance may also be revoked when an acceptance may be revoked at any time before the communication of the acceptance is complete as against the acceptor, but not afterwards. So both acceptance should be communicated before offer is withdrawn, and likewise offer should be communicated before acceptance is given. So both the conditions has to be satisfied. Then lastly, we are going to see the fifth point. It must be communicated. So an acceptance to be valid and legally binding, it must be communicated. So an acceptance to be valid and legally binding, it must be communicated to the offerer. Just mental determination to accept on the part of the offeree is no acceptance. That means communication of acceptance to be valid, it must be made either by the offeree himself or by his authorized agent. So just thinking in mind that you are going to purchase that house does not mean communication. So if you are going to purchase the house, what you have to do? You have to communicate your acceptance to the offerer. And acceptance to be valid and legally binding, it must be communicated to the offerer. Mere intention or mental determination to accept the offer is no acceptance. So again, acceptance may be given by the person, that is by the offeree himself or his authorized agent, and a communication of acceptance by any other person will not be valid. So unless and until these five conditions are satisfied, it cannot be called as a valid acceptance. And acceptance to be valid, the conditions are: acceptance must be absolute and unqualified, acceptance should be expressed in usual or as per the prescribed mode or manner, reasonable time before revocation of offer, and it must be communicated. Unless and until all these conditions are satisfied, acceptance cannot create a binding contract between the offerer as well as the acceptor. So remember, in a contract, both the parties should fulfill the essential conditions prescribed under the Indian Contract Act. Unless and until they fully fulfill all their conditions, it cannot legally binding upon each other. It is not enforceable. Yes, students, I think you understood the acceptance. Let us move on to next lecture tomorrow. Have a good day. This is Srikanth signing off today.